Welcome to MTalks, everybody. My name is Nikhil Mani.
This is Bibin Michael. Hey, Nikhil, how is everything going with you?
Good, man. Pretty crazy that we are in Florida shooting a podcast.
Amazing, right? Like flew all the way from New Jersey to Florida just for our podcast. Not only for just for podcast, like a big thing happening around.
Yeah, we are attending a workshop here that will enable us to grow in our entrepreneurial journey. But we also got the opportunity to sit down with someone special.
Absolutely, someone is actually very special to us. It's actually hand holding to entrepreneurship. Like it's an entirely different world. So we are just walking in with him, and by saying it, we do have a huge guest today. So let's welcome Mr. Raghu Reddy here. How are you, Raghu?
Good, Bibin. And first of all, thanks, Nikhil, for having me here. I'm glad to be part of this show today.
Thank you for your support. It means a lot.
Thank you so much for coming in for a small podcast, and you spend some time with us. And our audience know like what's happening with our talks. So we'll give you a small intro, like we already discussed, but just give you an idea. Like we've been like a couple episodes already happening. What we do is actually we talking about entrepreneurship, employment, entrepreneurship, mindset, wealth building strategies, lifestyle. So this is our topics what we discuss, right?
Awesome.
Right. So we are like changing from employment to entrepreneurship. So we are on the transition. So when that transition happened, we were like very much crazy about or very much interested about to let the world know like how we do this, and maybe that will be an interesting topic for them for helping them to come out of from the the employment setup. So this is the idea behind this, and thanks again so much for joining us.
You guys are doing great.
Right.
Yeah.
And Nikhil, go ahead. What we're discussing about, what we need to know from Raghu.
So, Raghu, I think the biggest thing for most of our listeners, and for us as well as entrepreneurs, starting entrepreneurs, obviously, is to have the right mindset and to stay motivated and all of those different things. And your background is pretty extensive. You've been in the tech world for almost 20 years, 25 years, really higher position in the banking industry, and you left all of that. And mind you, you had your investments and all that while you were in working in banking, but you left all of that to start this entrepreneurial journey. And I think what we want to know is like that story. What encouraged you to kind of take that step when you had a comfortable life, when you were basically in the standards in our sub community of Indians, you're successful already in life,
Right.
and so there's no other motivation needed for most people to like continue or start something new or anything like that. So we want to kind of dive into that mindset. We want to figure it out. We want to get your keys for success, or your keys to kind of embrace the uncomfortable nature of leaving everything comfortable and going towards something to create a journey that will be for your entire family, like what do you call it, generational wealth, basically, right? That's what you started to build. And so we kind of want to dive into that. So I guess I should ask you, what got you interested in the entrepreneurial world?
Yeah, sure, Nikhil. First of all, Bibin and Nikhil, I mean, it's a great idea that what you've been kind of bringing to the world and bringing all these success stories and where people can relate to, right? And to answer your question, Nikhil, first of all, my reason was, to build something of my own, right? I was an employee for a very long time, almost 17 years, worked in IT world. But being an entrepreneur, being somebody was always my appetite, right? How did that happen? I've seen financial pain in my family. My dad, while I was young, 8-10 years old, I still remember, we used to, my father was a farmer, right? And we used to have tractors doing the farming, and he used to ride a motorcycle, and in India, I don't know, SD. He used to ride the bike. But within like 10-15 years, by the time I came to college, we were struggling to buy a used bicycle. And I've seen the ups, I've seen the high side of it. I've seen the low side of it. That's my first exposure to financial pain. But as we, in India, especially when we're growing up, most of the feed that we get was, study well, get a good job, and that's what I was trying to do. But my uncle, my mother's brother, who is my mentor and who I lived with him most of my life back home in India because my parents were in village.
Raghu, interrupt you for a second. Like, which part of India you're from?
I'm from Telangana, but there's a place called Nalgonda. It's a very small district, and I'm from a very remote village, close to Nalgonda. Very small village, less than 50 families, right? So yeah, my uncle was my motivation for doing this. He was a bus conductor. I still remember my dad wanted me to become a bus conductor because in India bus conductors come home with change every day, right? And I said I will become anything but bus conductor.
So somebody else came from bus conductor though in Tamil Nadu. Rajinikanth.
That's true.
Right?
That's my uncle for me. And he left his government job and started his own entrepreneurship journey. He was into a civil construction and all. That's the motivation for me. And when I completed my college, and who was the one who introduced to one of his friends, helped me to start my own business. I started a cordless headphones distribution back home in India right out of my college.
Wow.
Yeah, but it didn't take long. I borrowed a lot of money from my family, friends, and other people, and invested. Within 1.5 years, we had to shut it down, right? And because the quality of the product was not good.
Oh, okay.
So
which is pretty common for any startup business.
Yes. So the entrepreneurship seed has put in at that point of time, and it has grown over a period of time. And when this happened in 2017, when I started this journey in financial domain, in the beginning I had no confidence on myself. First of all, I had a lot of after that also I had a couple of other businesses that failed. There was a time in my life in 2010 where I said I mentally shut down for any business opportunities because I told myself that business is not my cup of tea. I'm not meant for business. So I kind of stuck to my job. But 2017, when this opportunity in the financial domain came, I was skeptical about myself more than the industry, more than the opportunity. I was mentally shut down. But thanks to my wife, she was the one who got started. And while helping her and in the back office, I got curious. And then that entrepreneur seed in my brain came out. It took me about 3 to 6 months to gain the confidence. Because I had enough bad experiences in my life about business, that also helped me to make a right decision for this business.
Exactly.
Right? More than anything else, because there's not a lot of investment risk. And more importantly, it was more based on my effort and my time, unlike in the past experience that I had. Correct. So that was the one, Nikhil, that kind of made me say, okay, it took me about 6 months to realize that I think I can do. I think I can make it work.
Right.
So that one thought made me take a calculated decision because I wanted to learn from the master, and I wanted to give enough time for myself and the coaching. So I said, sailing in 2 boats and probably for too long thought, and I made a decision to let go my job and come here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ultimately, the dream is the one that pushes, and that happened in my case.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, your story itself is very pivotal in a lot of the people that we know that are doing this business and got into this business, and it's very encouraging to hear that. So let me ask you, what made you keep going on? Because obviously you didn't start having success,
Nope.
even when you went full time, right? But you kept at it. What kept you strong and encouraged to keep at it? Where did you see I'm seeing certain things happening? Maybe I'm not getting the financial benefit yet, but this is going to go somewhere. What was that for you?
Yeah. So when I did that in 2017, I was a pretty logical guy, first of all. So I looked at all the facts first, right? And I looked at the industry stuff. I looked at the companies that we're working with. Industry is like 200-300 years old industry, financial industry. It's the largest and the richest industry.
Right.
So there's nothing for me to test that industry. And the companies that we work with are at least 100-year-old companies. So, and the product that we have has been proven for 20, 50, 100 years. So everything is pretty much set. And the system is proven. There's a lot of help. And my own friend who started 2-3 years before me, he left his IT career to do this. So that's kind of also provided evidence for me.
Right.
Correct.
Right? It's like if he can do it, I can do it kind of a thought process.
Yeah.
Right? And especially you can relate to your friends.
Right.
So all these things, facts-wise, it's pretty looked okay. The only thing that I was not sure about, is it for me? And that one question, it took me about 6 months. So what I did in that 6 months time was, Bibin and Nikhil, to kind of give myself that feeling that I belong here, I can do it here. So, and yes, it was not easy, but I was able to overcome my own challenges.
Is that the question you had, right? Is it for me, right? Is that because it's from a different, we never been there industry, or because it's on the entrepreneur side, or you had a failure in the back?
It's probably a combination of both, but more from which I was never in part of this industry.
This industry, okay.
Right? I mean, because entrepreneurship, because as you do more of those, you only gain more experience. So that was not the issue.
Okay.
And then inside me, I wanted to become an entrepreneur. So that is always there.
Gotcha.
But I didn't have the right platform or the right vehicle.
Yeah.
So it is more my inhibition that I've never part of this industry.
Right.
I don't know how it works. And I've not seen anybody doing it or becoming successful in this industry.
Oh, that is the best key thing, right? So we don't know. We haven't seen anybody doing it. That maybe that
was the biggest thing.
I mean, in our community, I'll be honest, there are people that do this.
Yeah.
They do it wrong though.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's like you have a negative connotation when it comes to some, like when you're seeing somebody do this and they have a bad name in the community, and you think, oh, okay, so that place you're not going to make any money.
The lack of system.
The lack of system is really what is in effect. You're seeing when people don't follow the system or do it the right way, you obviously don't succeed, and you create a bad name and bad kind of perspective in that particular business. But which is right. Like you have to have that system, which is what you've basically followed.
Yeah, that is also one thing, Nikhil. But also second thing I found out interestingly is many of us, everybody knows money is in the money industry.
Right.
Correct.
Right? But what I also realized is nobody knows where to start.
Yeah.
Right? Many people that we see in this industry, either they're starting as a real estate agent or an insurance agent or a financial planner. And while growing up, I don't think any of us wanted to be any of those.
Right.
Exactly.
Right? So it is not very... what you call lucrative or anything. That is not a profession where we grew up with.
Yeah.
Right? Doctors, engineers, lawyers, these are the ones that we grew up with generally.
Yeah.
But not with any of these that are related to financial domain.
Exactly.
But what I realized in that process was, and we are only looking at the front pivotal of it. We are only looking at the end agent level industry. We are not, most of us do not have an opportunity to look beyond where the opportunity is in the financial domain. And I think that is the biggest gain I got out of this, the whole process.
So how you were able to go to the back and see the bigger picture? Like what helped you? Like your intention to, I need to get this done, or I need to get this before I make a decision, or it's automatically happened when you were in the system?
No, it was not automatic. First of all, I didn't even know. I mean, like everybody else, I didn't know that there's so much potential. We only know that everybody needs money. That's the only thing that we know. And everybody needs, want to become somebody. These two things are common. Everybody needs education on money part, and everybody wants to be somebody. But I didn't know where to start. But this whole process, the system that we have, has helped me to, somebody handheld me, right? And in the beginning, where I've no idea. First of all, I didn't have confidence in myself. I didn't believe myself that I could do it. And I didn't have any skills in the past that, where I was good at people, good at money. My background doesn't say that, right? But the system that we have and the support system that the people that in the process have helped me to where I can relate to some bigger picture. So somebody stretched my vision.
So, so you used a word, somebody helped you, right? And that's basically coaching. Right?
Yeah, it's part of the coaching. Yes.
Is this business even viable without real apt coaching?
It is, but you're not going to scale up. That's what that's what the traditional industry is doing.
Right.
Though financial industry is the biggest mother of all industries, many people are not succeeding. Everybody is trying to figure out on their own.
Right.
So what this system helped me personally was, and a guy who's for IT making $121,000 coming here, and today is making a 7-figure annual income. It's not something that I could have believed that I could do myself. It's all thanks, and the credit goes to the system and the process. And this has been a 40+ year proven system, right?
Gotcha.
And the way he built is, how can you scale up in one of the biggest industries? And he created all those resources, support system.
Right.
And he's done a fantastic job, in my opinion. where people like me can understand easily and follow the step by steps. It only has 6 steps and 8 filters. We call it as 6 steps, 8 filters process, right? He created a methodical way of how to get started, and by repeating the steps, you kind of build that muscle power, right? Once you understand how the business works, and once you get the success with somebody's help, they coached you, and it's now you can take it up independent. Today I have my own office running from Houston, and I can say that today I coached about 15 different independent people that they're running an office like me.
Wow.
Where they have their own offices. Wow. So it's a very beautiful process where you get a lot of help, where you're not by yourself. It's your business, but you're not by yourself.
And the achievement you just mentioned, like 7-figure or certain people's number of people, like independent doing it. How many years for you to get into that level? Like 20 plus years or?
No, it total took me like 3.5 years.
3.5.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So 3 years, close to 3 years it took. My first 8 months was more like I'm just kind of testing the waters.
Sure.
And I was not confident about. I just building my confidence that I can do it. But technically, all this happened in about 2 years' time. Right. So in 2.5 years, 2.5, 3 years, I was able to do it.
This much huge industry.
Yeah.
And with a proper proven system, somebody helping you, hand-holding you,
yes,
which is 100% possible.
It is for one thing I tell people. If a person like me with the background that I came from, my education background, I was not an engineer by qualification, by education. And I didn't have any good experience, financial experience in the past. I didn't have any good business experience in the past. I failed everything that I did. And my stock market money my 401k was not doing well. So pretty much I can say I'm not a financially savvy person.
Right.
And I was not an entrepreneurially savvy person. And with that background, and if I can come and become what I became today, anybody can do it. It's just a matter of, but again, having said that, I don't want to sound it easy for people.
Right.
So one biggest thing that I found to be an entrepreneur is a discipline. The fundamental difference between an employee and an entrepreneur is a discipline that you can build. Because at JP Morgan, I was disciplined by the system, the process, my paycheck. I have people, my bosses, I have team to discipline me. I have my bosses to discipline me. I have a project timeline to discipline me. My paycheck discipline me. Everything, my dressing, my timing, everything was disciplined in the framework. But here I'm on my own, and I have to build it. I have to wake up on my time. It's not easy.
It's very
trust
easy
me,
to
trust
fail.
me. Anybody that's want to become an entrepreneur, discipline is the biggest thing that you should build.
So how a new person coming into this wonderful world, what is the easy way? We actually discussed
There's no easy way, is what he's saying to you.
No, what is the easy way to start with? Do you remember we had a discussion about the book called Atomic Habits?
Yeah.
Right. So that was the one idea, like we were starting and we were explaining to it. So what is the easy way to start with or begin with somebody coming into this wonderful world?
The first foremost point, what is the motivation factor for you to be here is, unless we want to grow more in life, the fundamental seed has to be within you, within that person, that I want more in life. The more could be money, more could be building something of their own, more could be titles, more could be lifestyle. Unless you want more, you're not going to do anything, right? Before this business, I was watching a movie every single day for 17 years because I had no motivation. As you said, Nikhil, I was having good paycheck, and I never expected to make that kind of money while I was in India.
Right.
Right. Gotcha. And making that more than $10,000 monthly income is a good paycheck that made me good living.
Yeah.
Right. But that also forced me to shut down my dreams. Right, because I was comfortable and I shut down my dreams until this opportunity came my way where it opened my doors. So basically, do you have a reason to get up every morning? Right? Are you excited to get up every morning? Or are you not as of now? If not, find something that can get you excited, because you want to do something that is exciting for you.
Yeah.
If the job is exciting for you, then that should
be.
If it's not, find something that is exciting where it will wake you up.
So finding the why will be the
finding that
startup.
why is the one, and then second thing is, if you want to be successful, find somebody that who's already been successful and hold their hand.
Right.
Gotcha.
If you try to figure out, there's a million ways to figure out. But most people cannot. There's only few people that have been innovative and be successful, like Elon Musk or Zuckerbergs and Bill Gates. Can everybody become them? The answer is Possibility is there. But for most of us, people like me, copying is the best way. Copy other people's success.
Exactly. All right. So how you like the success right now and the lifestyle what you have right now? Like, how you enjoying or how you coping with it?
Yeah.
The change
So
in a good way.
Yeah. So 5 years ago, I didn't have the time freedom. I didn't have the financial freedom. I had a good living, by the way, comfortable living where I could watch one movie every day, right? But the freedom that I had then and the freedom that I have now is very different. I always give this example of a tiger in the jungle versus tiger in the zoo, right? And I feel myself like coming out of his, because zoo tiger is also enjoys everything, the food, everything else. The fundamental nature of a tiger is hunting or finding its own prey, doing things that you know, right? And that's what the difference today that I'm enjoying, right? I do at my terms. It is my business, but But if you look at the work, probably I'm working more harder than what I was working at JP Morgan.
Sure, yeah.
But it is more fulfilling because it's mine, and then I'm doing it my terms, and it is and the reason I want to do it. At JP Morgan, I was waking up at 7. Today I wake up at 5 because I want to give more time to myself.
Right.
That's the reason I think the business owners never retire.
Yeah. That's exactly. Every employee wants to retire, but business owners never want to retire.
Never want to retire.
That's fundamentally, and I didn't know that. Before coming here, I thought entrepreneurship is always tough and a lot risky, but it is risky until you know it. When you know it, and when you have something that you can follow, when you can copy. If there's an opportunity to copy success, that's the best thing that can happen to you.
Yeah.
And that happened to me. And today, I can say that my communication skills have improved. My financial bank balance has definitely got better. But more than that, as a person, I've changed, Nikhil. I'm a different person now. My discipline, my book reading skills, or my leadership skills. Today, I can say that when I was employee for 17 years, whatever that I could learn or what I learned, nothing I could bring it home and teach my kids or my wife.
Right.
And everything that I'm learning today, that I can pass it on as a legacy to my kids. And that is the most beautiful thing that I enjoy today. My financial skills, my entrepreneurship skills, my leadership skills, my communication skills, my dressing, my discipline, my habits, and everything.
It's a total 180.
It's I would say 360. I would say. I don't know what degrees I can give you.
Okay, so one thing, if you want to say to our audience, you can look at the camera and say what you will say out. From we actually, the main transition we are looking forward is actually how many people can look as an opportunity whenever you coming out from college or university, always looking for a job, right? So our idea is actually there will be another option also available in front of them, equally a job or maybe better than a job. So we want to keep that open for everybody, but majority 90% is not looking at that side. So what do you want to say to them?
Yeah. So anybody who wants to, first of all, in life, every college student outright of college, we have big things. We want to be somebody in life, but most of us, we forget it, right? I don't want you to forget that. Because when we are kids, there's a lot of ideas, and we could draw a lot of things, we could think a lot of things, we could visualize a lot of things. But by the time we come out of the college, most of us, we forget that. We get in the rat race of getting into something. Of course, the situation also like that. We have apartment payments, car payments, insurance payments. The life kicks on before we realize. But I don't want anybody to forget their dream. What is that you really want in life, right? Obviously, if somebody asked me when I was working as an employee, if somebody asked me, what is this really that you wanted to do in life? I would have said no. But I didn't know what else to do. And I shut down my dreams. So one thing I tell people is, do not shut down your dreams. Stop. Dream bigger, dream bigger, dream bigger. Hold on to that, right? And you will and invest 15 minutes of your day every morning, or doesn't matter what time. 15 minutes of your day. What do I want to do in my life? What do I want to do with my life? Or where do I want to invest my energy? Spend 15 minutes for about 30 days. In 30 days, I guarantee that you'll find an idea.
Amazing.
Right? When you find that idea, and few other things that I kind of tell people from my experience. The 5 things that I learned: your dream that you should carry, and then vision. Vision means something that you can see that other people cannot see. So you should be able to train yourself to see a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. That's the second thing. And then these are fundamental two reasons as the starting factor. And then three more things that you need to really excel because you're living in a competitive world is your discipline, your focus, and your integrity. When these things are with you and nobody can touch you, and you're going to scale it up. You don't need nothing else. Again, I repeat, your dream, your vision, your discipline, your focus, and your integrity. Integrity is the most important thing, because you're not going to get what you deserve. You're going to get what you are.
That's so powerful.
Yeah. So, and Bibin, Nikhil, what you guys are doing is amazing, because people need to know that everybody has the same opportunity to scale it up.
Right.
It's just that they're not looking.
Right.
It's just that they've shut down the dreams. And I wish, I got exposed to this kind of podcast where, and thanks to my life, better late than never. So it came in my 40s. But what you guys are doing is very great, and it should kind of elevate a lot of people's dreams, and it could help them to scale up to the next level.
Thank you so much, Raghu. And how we can our audience can get in touch with you?
No, basically, you guys, MTalks is a great platform to be part of it. We have these weekly presentations that we do for people that we can do. We have weekly Zoom presentations, weekly office presentations every week. And we also have these one-on-one conversations that we people and can get in touch with Bibin and you and Nikhil, both of you, and with MTalks. And all they have to do is put a comment there and can reach out to you, and one of us can help them understand how big is this opportunity. And technically, we are helping people how to get access to one of the biggest industry out there, which financial domain is the biggest and the largest. There's no superlative degrees for that, and it's a huge opportunity that people don't want to miss. And people like me, who came from an IT background with, and came here and scale it up. And because of the beautiful system that we have, anybody can come here and scale it up. But what I tell people, but it puts you in the right path first, and it gives you that opportunity, gives you that framework that where you can embrace and take it forward and
apply it in your everyday life.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Raghu, for your time. We really appreciate your patience with us and giving us this opportunity. I know you have a jam-packed schedule today, and thank you, audience, for listening to us. And hopefully, you got some key points from here that you can apply to your own lives. And Bibin,
thank you so much, Raghu. That was a very pleasure meeting you. We were planning to meet you some other time, and thank God it's actually came up. Everything came together on time. And it's a great information, great information, key points to kick off.
Yeah, and connect with us on our YouTube. Please, like Raghu said, comment on our profile if you guys are interested in finding out this opportunity that me and Bibin are part of in Raghu's journey, and it's life changing. So let us know. It'll be in the description about scheduling some time with us, obviously. But thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you.